Hey there, team. Welcome to a 2v2. So this was given to me by Lango, so that's very kind of him. I do try and space between siege and pitch, but sieges always tend to do better, of course. But I enjoy pitch battles, so it's it is what it is. So I'm always very grateful for pitch battles too. It's nice that there's exactly 9,999 frames, almost 10,000. That's really weird to see. But anyway, Lango's playing Harad. I mean, I enjoy Harad. I'm okay with them, but I definitely do like to be a bit more solid with my units. And most of Harad's roster is it's a bit fragile. But Southern Warband up there. In the front, he's got this, lots of Haradrim spears making up his centre with the Southern Warbands. The better quality Southern Warband, of course, taking up the flanks. Armor piercing too, that's nice. Mood warriors there, beast hunters, and then the trollmen. Some Southern Warband in the centre with some champions of Nafarat in the middle too. Then some black serpents, Southern lancers over here on this flank. It's doubles. Oh, wow, it's a lot of cav. Beastmasters there. And, Southern Lancer, Serpent Guard, and then the Black Serpents. So he's going hard on the left flank with his cav, which is fair, okay. So because there's a bit of a tournament map, these guys will be taking this quite seriously, both from the, same clans. I thought FFA for some reason. But we got FFA Muffins as well, so we got to see some Warg Riders there, Trolls of Angmar, and Trolls of Gundabad. Then the Inquisitors, with some pikes and Gundabad Guard over here. Witch Realm, Black Watch Legion, with some Witch Realm Scourge Raiders. Then Gundabad Guard and the pikes, again, very solid phalanx. And then the Snaga Stalkers are defending the Halberdiers. So yeah, okay, usually when we see, an Angmar phalanx line, it tends to stretch out as far as the eye can see. It's kind of interesting that Muffin's going for a more compact phalanx here, but both of these factions, Harad and Angmar, can both perform a very effective rush. Now, that's not necessarily what we've got to do here, but this is definitely an aggressive sort of army. But saying that, Muffins has sort of peeled back a little bit from his front line, where you would normally expect if you were going to do a rush, you would be deployed like Lango there. Any stakes on the ground? As I say, I talked about it in the last pitch battle. You can't give away your position. No, it's oftentimes if you want to put down a stake, you want to put down your stakes and then ready up right after, just so that you don't give the enemy too much time to see. But I'm not seeing any stakes on either side. Let's say, being a 2v2 tournament, hopefully their opponents are going to be pretty solid too. But yeah, no barrow whites though, so that again lends itself to this idea that we're going to be quite aggressive. We're going to get stuck in their face quite quickly. And yeah, there's no archers from Lango. Yeah, we're definitely rushing on Lango's side. Whenever you're going to rush, now this is of course, again, a lot of this talk is about tournaments, but whenever you're just in a normal 2v2 or a 3v3 or something like that, if you're going to rush, say that during the lobby phase of the battle. There's nothing worse than expecting your ally to be on your flank, and then right at the start of the battle you realize they're all the way up in the enemy's face, and you're like, fuck. Because I do not mind rushing. I can do it, and I do not, but I usually will take more of a balanced approach, and I'll advance forward. I'll usually be quite aggressive, but I'll hopefully make the enemy make a mistake before I'm aggressive. And if I know you're gonna rush, then I'll know to either not worry about you, or I'll know to support you properly with my cavalry. I love to do that when my ally is going to rush. I'll send my cav over to him so that I'll be like, I can micro my cav and back him up while he's rushing in. Anyway, we've got Inarius with his Glade Riders there. All of this Merquindi Boatfire is going to be painful to those lightly armoured Harad troops. Vine Guard there, Evelyn Infantry. Certainly not the be-all and end-all in terms of skill, but up against Haradrim troops, that's going to be quite solid. And the Merquindi Pikes are going to love mowing through hordes and hordes of Haradrim. Glade Masters in the back though too. Elvelyn infantry and glade lords. No hammer guard, but that's kind of a good idea. Although hammer guard would be great up against the forces of Angmar. Some more glade lords there. We're gonna have to, if we're gonna match Lango's cavalry swarm, we're gonna need to get our cavalry together there in Arius. And the last person is blindness today. So yeah, all pretty damn experienced players playing as Rhudaur there. So the puppet has risen up against the master here, with 8 more troll hunters. Phalanx is, I mean, yeah, Dunman Pikes mixing up with Rhudaur clansmen is certainly not a pathetic phalanx by any stretch, and especially the Haradrim Pikes. That'll be quite something, but it's going to be a bit dicey. Still, they should be able to outrange those Angmar halberds quite nicely. Over on the side here, we have the more troll hunters, great for just dealing with cav. Coldfell maidens, wow, we have a lot of cav from blindness, right? Okay, Coldfell maidens, then 2 units of them, and then 2 units of the Dunman outriders. In the beginning, I loved these guys, and I still do. I just don't use them as much anymore. I've gone really... I don't use cav anywhere near as much as I used to. So these are outrunners, not outriders. There was a time, I don't know if they're generally anymore, there was a time when they were like viewed by many as the most cost-effective cavalry unit in the game. Very, well, in terms of charging, very swift little guys, do in and out, but it's an armor-piercing charge at the end of the day, you know, and that's quite something. And the Herenidine Berserkers here, that's where we got the general. No enslavers, though. No enslavers. Some Dunman Pikes probably watching the back lines. But the Troll Hunters can do okay too. Again, no. Well, we'll see. We might have some archers pop up for blindness. If we don't, then this is... Oh, it's like this is a bowl. He really has just created this bowl that he was expecting an Angmar rush to swamp itself into. Okay, there we go. Oh, axe throwers. We're going for axe throwers instead of archers. Over there, Fraudrum Javs. That's a nice thing to see. And Blackwolds have revealed themselves as well. Anything popping up from the Merquindi lines? Probably some Glade Guard, I would expect, are hiding in amongst all of this. But yeah, Harad is marching. Not running. He's taking his time. Watch out for the champions in Nafarat. They are getting a little bit exposed there. Okay, but no, he's catching that, and he's going to get the other units running out in front of them. Looks like, yeah, because we can see they've merged together, so blindness is coming over onto the flank of his ally. It looks like he's kind of folding around the flank. Let's zoom on in a little bit and sort of see how that... we can't really see, unfortunately. It's too wide a formation to really get an idea. But yeah, he is really going to be curling up around him there. Now, the issue is that's going to leave Inarius sort of doing, in a way, a 2v1 for a minute while blindness pulls off this massive maneuver. But once it is pulled off, it could be really, really good. Glade Riders there, moving in to intercept some Serpent Guard. Southron Lancers will get a nice charge, but they will get massacred by Glade Riders. I'm going to go up to 0.6, I think. Stalkers there, they do have an anti-cavalry bonus, so they will be okay in that fight. But just intercepting them, stopping them from shooting them. And yeah, I mean, this is going to leave the vastly outnumbered elf and human lines here exposed to the mass charge of Southrons. I was going to say Southern men, but yeah, Southrons works. Yeah, we don't actually have that much in the way of javelins. We've got the Beast Hunters coming in, but we don't have heaps and heaps of jabs. And it would not really fare too well up against that shield wall of Elvelyn units. Southron Warband, though, they'll like to go toe-to-toe with the Vineguard. Vineguard do not have armor piercing. The Southrons have that numbers advantage, and they do have armor piercing up against the Elvelyn units. Southrons parking themselves right in front of them. Oh, wow. Okay, I was thinking it was going to be a 2v1 with Inarius taking the damage, but it looks like blindness is not letting that happen. He's got his right flank engaging right now, which is great to see. Nice little charge from the Blackwolds. Blackwolds really would prefer to be going toe-to-toe with a more heavily armoured unit, of course, but yeah, if they can pull off a charge into something like the Mahud Warriors, that would be great for them. They do actually have... they've got a little bit of defensive skill, more so than a lot of Rhudaur's roster, but they're mainly defended by that armour bonus. So it's tempting to use his Javs here, but I probably would try and hold off. I'd wait if I could. Looks like the troll forces are coming in. This is a large front that Blindness is going to be having to pay attention to. If he can get a charge with his outrunners, just right into those trolls, that would be really upsetting. We're at 8 for 4. That's, I mean, it's close, but it's not where you want to be at this early stage. Trollmen of Harad, they'll do okay for now, but their hit points are going to be dropping up against those pike lines. It's the far right flank where they're actually faring way better than I expected. Glade Guard have popped up there to intercept the Mahud warriors. Glade Masters will be there to mop things up though. So Inarius' cavalry seems to have reigned supreme here. But now the Inquisitors have arrived and the Beastmasters are still present with javelins. This might not last. Blade Lords, he has suffered for this moderate victory. But now that Angmar has arrived, he might be out of steam. And even the fearsome Glade Lords will fall to the Inquisitors if they cannot get some charges off on them. But we need to stop these Serpent Guard, and if the Black Serpents are still on the field, we need to cease their actions too. Along the front line though, yeah, we're starting to actually buckle. He's getting through some gaps. Starting to intercept their forces there. Okay, yeah, rinsing them with arrows still. The jab's actually really tearing lumps, but Angmar's sitting up here. Coalfell Maiden's coming in for a quick interception against the Beast Hunters. Really not a great charge on those ladies, only really an additional charge bonus of 2. Over here looks like there was another little charge, looks like by the Outrunners, into some... the Goblin Band may have been hiding there, they may have popped up and surprised them. The Snag Archers, though, were not so lucky. Cav is still out there, moving very quickly across these plains. And they need to be watched. The cavalry is starting to run free in Inarius' back lines. You could argue running free, but they are being kept in check at least, and this fight is not going to be beautiful for the Wargs and Inquisitors, as everything that they're up against here does have an anti-cavalry bonus. Blade Guard there, slicing through the flanks. Vine Guard did it very, very well, but they are crumbling now. Oh, I do need to think about a thumbnail. That looks quite cool with the nice serpent banner in there. Yeah, that's quite good. See the trolls in the far off distance. Pike's doing okay, but yeah, we need more Rhudaur men in the fight. But saying that, the Angmar have not actually fully dedicated their infantry, have they? The Black Wolves are now being engaged by the Angmar halberds. This is, yeah, if we get some Dunman pikes to go toe-to-toe with these guys, this could be really nice. Berserkers there. If you can get the Herenidine Berserkers to use up their axes, they can be very, very effective. But now that they're getting shot at, we want to get them in the fight, because they don't have the greatest armor in the world. Axe throwers have arrived now. More axe throwers on the far flank. We have 30. Oh god, this is dicey for blue team here. Still, the trollmen are they will go to the very end. They are locked morale. And now the trolls are involved, but Black Wolves they'll enjoy that fight actually. Well, they'll do all right in it. They quite enjoy just hacking the trolls with their massive stone axes. But I think Inarius' front line is almost shattered, and those Glade Masters are taking a few volleys from the Beast Hunters. That's not pretty. Yeah, that's not what you want to see over here. Looks like the cavalry fight is finally going in favour of the blue team. Yeah, so they weren't too far behind. And that'll be half of Inarius' army gone. So Rhudaur will be making up a lot of the numbers here. Southron Pikes are going toe-to-toe with the Southron Warband going toe-to-toe with the Merquindi Bows. Looks like these Merquindi Bows are in guard mode though. They maybe need to get out of that so they can all start to fight properly here, because this is a fight that they would win. Ah dear, front line is shattering though. Gundabad Guard there keeping him in check. The Berserkers are in that fight though, and they will start to rinse their way through that. Coalfell Maiden's trying to work their way through. A few of them will no doubt will get caught. Oh, actually, no, they should get through the Gundabad Guard as they come into the right. Ooh, don't know how I feel about that. I think they're probably just trying to eat away at the archers, but the Goblin Band are still lurking in there. It might have just been a grab by Blindness and ordering them across the field. I think that maybe it was a misclick by the looks of things, which, hey, I do not have any blame. I don't have any I don't know the word. I totally understand the circumstances of that. Especially commanding this sort of long formation here that is now curling around to engage the Angmar, who are kind of curling up against their allies' backs. The Quindy Pikes trying to do their very best as the Trolls continue to crack away at some units. Inquisitors there, how are they doing? Still at 31 after all of that, but they will have suffered some hit point damage. But unfortunately, the likes of the Coldfell Maidens are just not going to be capable of dealing with the Inquisitors. Not unless they can hurl some javelins at them first. You know, we don't have the Herenidine nobles here. Even they would have a lot of trouble. With their maces, it's beautiful to have this this armor-piercing knight that can crack away at enemies in this extended melee. But instead of just the charge. But now they're up against a dedicated melee cav, it's different. Coldfell Maidens bolting off there. Throwers hurling in. Witcheron Pikes are armoured though. But they will do some damage. It's a very high damage attack from those axe throwers, of course. These guys here look like they're out of ammo. They're a mess in melee as well. Very, very poor melee defense, very poor armor, and no shield, of course. So they will die quickly, but they'll hurt them. Blackwold's coming around here, unfortunately having to get toe-to-toe with a halberd line. But, oh, looks like they kind of got in there a little bit before they actually got their halberds down, so it'll be alright, but that's not really the fight the Blackwolds want to be in, especially not once the Pikes get toe-to-toe with them. Still, locked morale, 2 hit points each. They'll be stuck in there for a while, hopefully long enough for the Dunman Pikes to arrive and engage from behind. Lango has finished what's left of Anarius there. Well, there's a few holdouts that he might regret leaving later, but that is going to allow him to turn around and come and slam blindness. Rhudaur clansmen there and the Herenidine Berserkers slamming their way in again. Oh, that's a big unit of Angmar halberds. 83 Angmar halberds running from the field there. Dunman Pikes, okay. Southron Lancers there. Who are they? Oh, fighting up against some Coldfell Maidens who don't really seem to be fighting them back. They might be in guard mode there. Yeah, I think they're in guard mode trying to use up their ammunition. That's a shame because they would have rinsed those Southron Lancers, I think, in a normal engagement. But no, it's fair enough that you want to get the ammunition poured on out. And the micro attention is, now that he's sort of fighting against 2 brains here, there's going to be a lot of, a few more mistakes from blindness in comparison to his opponents now. Seems to be defeat on all sides right now. It's quite interesting to see. The Angmar continuing to push on up. Berserkers there. Oh no, the poor Dunman Pikes getting shot even by such a low damage archer as the Snaga archers. That will hurt them. Frodrum Javs shuffling around. Beast Hunters there. Blade Masters, still 9 of them. And that's where the general is. He's going to be very badly bloodied up, but as long as he can avoid a charge, will be useful. 45 pikes, come on, get your asses back in the fight. Oh dear, the Inquisitors and the Wargs are coming around. The Southron Lancers are free. Troll Hunters are tied up. These axe throwers, whoa, they could have changed. Well, I don't think they would have been able to change their focus in time. They continued to hurl over at the trolls. Getting a fair bit of friendly fire, unfortunately, with those axe throws. So maybe it would have been a better idea to go for the Southron Lancers if he could have noticed that in time. As I say, you know, you've got to keep in mind we're going through this at 0.6 speed. You know, just a little over half of the speed that is happening for them. So there's a lot of things that we're noticing that would have been just going by way too fast for them to spot. Okay. Oh, Beast Hunters there. Oh, yeah, okay, good slam from the Dunman Outriders. Just trying to help out the Frodrum Javs, who are in guard mode there. Again, this is a fight the Frodrum Javs would easily win. But it's a case of just, they will do much more damage if they can keep hurling out their Javs. Going especially into something like the Pikes, the Witcheron Pikes there. I do love the Frodrum Javs. I tend to always, I favour Javelins over Axes. There's some different circumstances, of course, but generally I will always pick a javelin over an axe. The Frodrum Javs, I love them. They've got an anti-cavalry bonus as well. They're armor piercing and melee. They're just an all-around nice unit to have on the field. So they can hide, they cause fear, super duper, you know. I cannot see any problem. Let's zoom in and sort of see how messy this is, because it really is quite a bunched up, crazy fight. Hereditine Pikes there, they do provide this morale bonus to everything around them. Or all the allies around them, I should say, which is good. Men off Numenorian descent. Pretty distant Numenorian descent, but it still is there. It still is affecting them. Oh, goodness me. Rolls of Angmar coming in, slicing down the Angmar Troll Hunters. That's the general for Rhudaur dropped. Good morale, very good morale for the forces of Rhudaur, but that will... If you're already in a pretty sticky spot, that might be just what it takes to finish you off. Yeah, Troll Hunters there broken. Hereditine Pikes even wavering. They might end up breaking. They've got these Trollmen right behind them. I think they're goners. No. Oh, these Merquindi Bikes did come back to the fight, but I think they just ran away a little bit too far. I just don't see how if they can do too much. These Outrunners are still doing their best. Coming in, clashing into the Scourge Raiders. Again, armoured up. It's what you see the vast majority of the time that you see a Scourge Raider. He is going to have received an armour upgrade. But no, I definitely... I do not have the micro ability to take more than, like, 2, possibly 3 units of cav to a fight. If I'm taking 3 units of cav to a fight, it's most likely 2 of them are melee cav, who you can generally get away with less micro attention. But no, that was super duper. Yeah, definitely went some strange ways for a while there. I think that I think everybody performed very, very well, and this is what you're going to get in a tournament fight. Like, people are going to be very good, and it's not so much that you screw up and it's that you you know, somebody makes a mistake. It's just that the opposing team is just very, very good, and their plan just is pulled off very nicely. And I think that, yeah, focusing in the cav power on one area and just crushing it there. I definitely understand what Blindness was doing by keeping his cav separated, and Inari's had a powerful cavalry force anyway, so, you know, it wasn't it made sense to be that way and to perform it in that manner. But I don't know if the Outrunners really I don't know how effective they were in this fight. Maybe had we lost the Outrunners, like 2 Outrunners, I don't even think you can't buy a noble for 2 Outrunners. But say like 2 Outrunners, then if we tried to scrounge some money elsewhere, perhaps we could have gotten a noble, but I don't even know if that, I don't think that really would have changed too much. But yeah. No, that was super. I think yeah, I don't really know what could have been done differently. I think the I'm going to call them the attackers here, because they did kind of launch into the initial attack. I think they handled that very nicely. They didn't just come wildly charging in. There was some thought put in, and it wasn't just a case of like, oh, my allies made contact, I need to do so. Like, Muffins was slow and careful and methodical in how he did approach the situation, so that was nice. Zooming over here, let's see Lango. Champions and Afrat just in there constantly, just slicing people down. Super duper. Southern Warband, very nice. That's a good kill. That's, to be honest, not bad for Haradrim Spears, who are generally just there to provide, you know, just like kill me, don't kill the guy next to me type thing. Oh, there were black. Oh yeah, no, there were Black Serpents. I was thinking of. Oh shoot, who are the bowmen again? Sorry. Serpent Guard? No, definitely not Serpent Guard. I actually don't know what were those guys called. Serpent's Fang, I think that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I always put my general in that when I play as Harad. I just love archers. Zooming on down. Yeah, Lancers. I mean, dude, that was a lot of cav to deal with. Yeah, some of them just getting sliced up by enemy melee cav, but the ones that did make it in did very nicely. Serpent Guard, more Lancers. Black Serpents, of course, more Lancers. 2 hit point Lancers. They are very swift. Not Knights, but yeah, 2 hit point Lancers. So they did not too bad, but they were definitely clocked up because I would have been grabbing them with my melee calf for sure. As I say, muffins, it's nice to see, you know, you don't need barrow wights as Angmar, and definitely if you're wanting to be really mobile, if you take barrow wights, that really locks you into one style of play. So it's you know, it's not too awesome. But no, I think, yeah, Nari's Blindness did really quite well there. It's Dorwinion is a tough faction to handle, I think. Yeah, it's a bit tricky to know sometimes, but I think generally everything went not too bad. Grassy Plains is what you got to really do some of these tournament fights on. I know it's not super duper exciting, but it's all right. Anyway, thank you guys very much, and I will see you later.